So on this question, we're dealing with a lot of negative powers. Let me write the rule for that. Negative powers are unhappy. They're negative. They're unhappy where they are at. Unhappy where they're at. So they're gonna, like somebody unhappy at their job. So they're going to jump to the other side of the fraction, then become positive. So they're going to jump to a new job and then they'll be happy in their new job. They're going to jump to the other side of the fraction and then they'll be happy in their new spot. So let's do it. So this r to the -7, he's unhappy. He's going to jump down to the bottom. Now the r to the 3 on the bottom, he's positive power. He's going to stay put. He's happy. Okay. Now what about the q here? Let's do the q to the -2. He's unhappy. He's going to jump up to the top. But the q to the 6, he's happy. He's going to stay right where he's at. Now what about the e's? Well, there's no negative powers there. They're just going to stay put. So, all right. So this is going to be a couple steps here. So let's see what we got now. Oops. So now what we got is we got r to the +7 on the bottom with r to the 3. And we've got q to the 6 and q to the +2 on the top. Okay, and then as far as the e's go, this is just, they just stay put. Is that good so far? Does that make sense? What has happened so far? So this r to the -7 jumps down, becomes r to the +7. Both the r's are on the bottom. It's q to the -2 jumps up, becomes q to the +2. Both the q's are on the top. And we still have this e over e to the 8 thing. The e's haven't jumped because none of them are negative powers. It's only negative powers that are unhappy. They're negative. Where they're at, they jump to the other side, then they're happy, then they're positive. Okay. Now, what do we do with powers when you have like x squared over x to the 5th? Remember, that means 1 over x to the 3rd. Powers top and bottom. Powers top and bottom subtract. Powers top and bottom subtract. And the answer goes where the bigger power was. Right, so you have a bigger power in the bottom, the answer will end up on the bottom. All right, so that's, oh wait, I shouldn't have written that first. I mean, that's true, that's okay, we'll leave that. And then also, so that explains, I'm sorry, I'm putting things out of turn here, but that'll be fine. That explains what is going to happen with the e's, because this one really has a 1 power. Remember, if anything is not showing its power, it really has a 1 power. So those are going to subtract, and we'll end up with e to the 7th on the bottom. Right? That makes sense. That came from 8 minus 1 equals 7. You see that? That's how the e's work. So whenever you have, I'll get to the q's and the r's in a second, but that's what happens with those e's. Because they have, powers top and bottom, they subtract. Remember, and this one on the top is e to the 1. So whenever there's a letter or a number not showing its power, it really has a 1 power because there's 1 of them. So they'll subtract 8 minus 1, 7 on the bottom. Now, what happens with the r's and the q's? Letters side by side. Powers, side by side meaning multiplied. Powers add. So I'm going to go 7 and 3 is r to the 10, and on the top, 6 and 2 is q to the 8, and we're done. That is our final answer right there. So do you see what happened? So, so first off, the negative power jumped to the other side. The r to the minus 7 jumped down. The q to the minus 2 jumped up. The e's stayed put because they didn't have any negative powers. And after those negative powers jump, they become positive. And then the two q's were next to each other, so the powers add 8. Two r's are next to each other, powers add 10. The e's are on top and bottom, so the powers subtract, bigger one on the bottom, e to the 7th on the bottom. 8 minus 1 is 7. And there we go. There is the answer on that.